Help me hit 7,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. I didn't think anything was wrong when my fiancé asked for space. People panic when they hear the word break. But I didn't. I trusted her. When Maribel looked at me across our kitchen table and said, "I need a break to figure things out," her voice wasn't cold. It was tired. So I nodded and said, "Sure." I even meant it. My name is Callum Reed. I'm 36. I work in commercial design, pay my bills on time, and believe problems are meant to be solved, not dramatized. Maribel and I had been together for 4 years, engaged for 8 months. She had this soft laugh that came out when she wasn't trying, and a way of calling me Cal that made everything feel settled. We were planning a fall wedding. Muted colors, small guest list, nothing flashy, just us. The break was supposed to be 2 weeks. She said she needed quiet, time to think. I offered to stay with my brother, but she insisted she'd go stay with her sister, Eloan. I helped her pack, folded sweaters, slid her laptop into her bag, kissed her forehead at the door. If there was guilt in her eyes, I didn't recognize it then. The apartment felt strange without her. Too quiet. I threw myself into work, late nights, early mornings. I told myself distance could be healthy, that trust meant not checking up. If you've ever believed giving space is an act of love, tap the like button so this story reaches someone who needs to hear it too. 3 days into the break, Maribel texted less. Short replies, neutral tone, no heart emojis. I noticed, but I didn't push. On the 5th night, her tablet buzzed on the coffee table. She'd left it behind by accident. I didn't touch it at first. I really didn't, but the screen lit up again. Then again. Eloan's name flashed across the top. I told myself I was only making sure everything was okay. That's how lies usually start. I unlocked the screen. The messages were already open. The first line that made my chest tighten read, "Timing matters. He has to believe it's his." I scrolled. Once you tell him you're pregnant, don't hesitate. He'll step up. He always does. Just make sure the dates line up. My hands went numb. I kept reading because some part of me still wanted it to be anything else. A misunderstanding. A joke gone wrong. But it wasn't. They were talking about me. About using the break. About another man. About presenting a baby that wasn't mine as proof we should rush the wedding back on track. Eloan wrote, "Men don't ask questions when they're scared of losing you." I sat there for a long time, tablet glowing in my lap, feeling like the floor had quietly disappeared. Pause for a moment and comment below if you think betrayal hurts more when it's planned instead of impulsive. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just felt something in me lock shut. There were more messages. Practical ones. Doctor appointments. Fake timelines. Even a line that said, "If he doubts you, cry. That always works." That was the moment love turned into something unrecognizable. I didn't confront her right away. That might surprise you. But shock doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like silence and observation. I wanted to see how far she'd take it. How easily she'd lie. 2 days later, Maribel called. Said she missed me. Said the break was helping her see things clearly. Her voice was gentle. Familiar. I listened, knowing every word was rehearsed. "Cal," she said softly, "I think we should meet soon." I agreed, hung up, and stared at the wall until the sun went down. If you had been in my place, type the word trust in the comments because that's what this story is really about. Not love, not marriage, trust. I spent that night replaying every memory, every moment I'd defended her, every time I'd said, "She'd never do that." It's humbling to realize how wrong confidence can be. The next morning, I forwarded the screenshots to my private email. Labeled the folder Clarity. I didn't know what I'd say yet, only that I wouldn't say it emotionally. Because when someone plans to trap you, anger isn't power. Awareness is. If this part of the story made your stomach drop, share it with someone who believes love should never require deception. That afternoon, Maribel texted one final thing. "I'm ready to come home." I stared at the message and realized the break had worked. Just not the way she planned. Do you think silence is sometimes the strongest response? Comment your thoughts. This is where the real conversation starts. Before I replied, I asked myself one question that changed everything. Was I about to confront her or free myself? If you want part 2, where I tell you exactly what I said, what she confessed, and how this ended, like this video, comment your answer to this question, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. I replied an hour later. One line. Come by tomorrow evening. No heart. No question mark. When Maribel arrived, she looked relieved. Like someone returning to a problem they believed was still manageable. She kissed my cheek automatically, then stopped when I didn't move. We sat across from each other at the same kitchen table where she'd asked for the break. Same chairs. Different truth. She talked first. About clarity. About missing me. About how distance reminded her how solid we were. I let her finish. I noticed how carefully she avoided specifics. How she kept her hands folded like she was afraid they'd betray her. When she paused, waiting for reassurance, I slid my phone across the table. The screenshots were open. She didn't touch it at first. Her eyes flicked down, then away, then back. Her mouth opened, closed, then opened again. Cal, she started, already crying. It's not what it looks like. I didn't interrupt. I didn't argue. Silence does something to liars. It forces them to fill the space. She said Eloan exaggerated. That she was confused. That she was scared I'd leave if she admitted doubts. Then she said something that ended it. I just needed a backup plan. As if love were logistics. As if trapping someone was a contingency, not a betrayal. I stood up. Not dramatically. Just stood. You planned to put another man's child on my life, I said calmly. And you rehearsed how to manipulate me into believing it. She cried harder. Reached for my hand. I stepped back. She asked if we could fix it. Therapy. Time. Promises. I told her something she didn't expect. I'm not angry, I said. I'm done. Anger would have meant there was still something to fight for. There wasn't. She stayed another 10 minutes, cycling through apologies and blame. When she realized none of it worked, her face changed. The softness vanished. You're really going to throw this away? She asked. That question told me everything. She still thought this was about possession. I handed her a folder. Printed screenshots. Dates. Names. Take these, I said. You'll need them to remember why this ended. She stared at it like it burned. Then she left. No screaming. No collapse. Just the quiet sound of the door closing on a future that never existed. Later that night, Eloan texted me. Long message. Accusations. Claims I'd overreacted. That Maribel was fragile. That good men forgive. I blocked the number without replying. Boundaries don't require explanations. I slept better than I had in weeks. Not because it didn't hurt, but because confusion was gone. Pain is lighter than uncertainty. In the days that followed, people asked what happened. I kept it simple. We wanted different things. I didn't owe anyone the spectacle of my betrayal. Maribel tried once more. Email this time. She said she was pregnant. I asked for a paternity test. There wasn't another message after that. Truth has a way of ending conversations quickly. I returned the ring. Sold it. Donated the money to a housing charity. It felt right to turn something built on deception into something useful. I moved apartments. Changed routines. Learned how peace sounds when it isn't interrupted by doubt. Here's what I learned. Love doesn't require traps. Commitment doesn't need manipulation. And anyone who plans your future without your consent is not your partner. They're your risk. I don't hate Maribel. I don't wish her harm. I just refuse to carry lessons I didn't choose. Walking away wasn't weakness. It was self-respect practiced quietly. If you're listening to this and something feels off in your life, don't ignore it because you're afraid of starting over. Starting over is lighter than living inside a lie. Some breaks are meant to end relationships. Others end illusions. This one did both. And for the first time in a long while, that feels like freedom.